So, bottom line, if I was to put a sizable chunk of capital in one country, India or China, for 10 years, where should I put that money?
I would say I would give a short and long term answer. If you are an institutional investor, go for India. You invest in India, you are going to get high returns. If you are going to be a direct investor, I think if you are focusing on China, you should continue to focus on China as a direct investor. Probably in the next 2 to 3 years, you should diversify into India.
You also have to look at India versus China sector by sector. If we look at technology, for example, India traditionally has been very good at IT services, software, not so much at hardware, not so much at manufacturing. I mean, could that change and will it change?
I think the new direction of Make in India, and also you have to remember that now Chinese manufacturers need access to low cost labor, and they're also turning into India because they believe there is an access to a labor pool which is lower cost and access to a market as well. So Make in India is going to help, and India will also turn into hardware, but it is going to grow from where it is today.
Make in India is a new tagline under the Modi government. In fact,
Absolutely.
We've seen the advertisements running nonstop on CNN recently.
Yeah.
I think after Modi took over, he's made it very clear that he's going to continue what he did when he was the chief minister of Gujarat state, which is one of the most foreign investment friendly states. So I've seen a lot of enthusiasm, especially when they've brought out the Make in India campaign. But I'm also a little bit cautious because so far I feel it is been more of a tagline rather than a policy shift. They say, well, we're hearing these good sounds come out of India, but we're still waiting to see what it's going to actually mean in terms of new policies.
So when you said that could India compete with China, I don't think that that's going to be happening, not in the next 20 years. After 30 years of dedicated efforts in building China into a manufacturing powerhouse, it would take a long time for India to build that manufacturing capabilities. It's not just about lower labor cost. You have to have a complex industry cluster of supply chains. You have to have the knowledge, you have to have the skills, you have to be connected to selling to the international markets. And if you look at what India is progressing, I think it's still progressing too slow.